Welcome to Friday Night with Anthony White. I am Anthony White, the Orange Tie Guy, and I want to talk to you guys about something I get asked all the time. Am I attractive? And it's an interesting concept in my mind because for me, the answer is yes. Duh. But at the same time, would I tell my clients that? Probably not. Would I tell my friends that? Probably not. Not the duh part. But to fill in this blank, it's something that I've come to understand over time because so many people are unaware of what does that mean? Am I attractive? Now, if it was a pointed question, something that was more specific to an individual, like, am I attractive to you? It's like, well, what do you mean? Like, do you mean, do I want to father your children? Or does that mean, like, am I attractive enough to hang out with you or have a conversation with you? Like, what is it that you were talking about here, right? And one of the interesting concepts is that people don't understand that there's all these different types of and forms of attraction, right? I did this little sketch, and I gotta apologize first and forehand because this was a long time ago, but it's the same concept, the same thing. So let's get this for you, okay? So there's a lot of different forms of attraction, right? All right, let's get through my pile of information and stuff like that, right? And I put this in the perspective, and maybe I should use my overhead here to see if this will work for us. In this overhead, let's see if it'll be effective for us. So I'm going to do it here, and we're going to zoom into this beast, okay? So that you can kind of see exactly what we're talking about here. So this is what I'm talking about. So for me, I think a lot of people are misunderstanding or not understanding in whole the concept of what is attraction, right? Because we've got attraction. You could be attractive, but it could be mentally, it could be emotionally, right? I need a hug, right? Somebody's saying something to that effect, and they say, I need a hug. Well, let's see if I can do this here. Let's turn this on. Let's add this one here. There we go. Let's put me in the corner here. Nobody puts the Orange Tie Guy in the corner. Actually, I do. I put myself in the corner. But it's a concept that we kind of look at and try to figure out in our own heads. Am I attractive? Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, you got to kind of figure out, what does that mean? Like, in depth. Yeah, you're attractive. So let's talk about attraction, simple and straightforward. A lot of people don't recognize that your attitude can definitely be attractive. In fact, it's one of those things that kind of, ooh, she's got spunk, or ooh, he's got attitude, or whatever, right? You see Simon Cowell, right? He's like a total jerk on the show, but for some reason, people are attracted to him, his brutal honesty, or whatever the verbiage is, right? Or the mindset or perspective. But it seems like everybody's thinking about this or this. It's always physical or sexual. Like, am I appealing that way? Here's the biggest problem that we run into is, let's see if I can get a dry erase marker here so that I can be more specific on this. The problem is this is why we have all those stupid cleavage shots and stuff that you get like with people in their profiles, right? Or like their side profile and they're like, right? Like, yeah, stupid is because they're trying to be physically attractive or sexually attractive. Now, here's the interesting concept that pops into my head, okay? For me, I try to think to myself, okay, well, why are you trying to attract pedophiles? It's like one of those things where it's like, do you want people that are, or I shouldn't say that, but people that just want your body? Like, seriously, why in the world is this something that's encouraged, in my opinion? Why are we going through this process? So let's go back to this at play here. Let's go back here again. So intellectually, I got to tell you, there are so many conversations that like are totally attracting me to that person because I like our conversations. Oh wait, conversational, right? What about spiritual? I got to tell you, when it came to my last relationship, That was the first thing that came across. Like, she was not physically attractive. I didn't know her mentally, emotionally, intellectually, or conversationally because I saw her across the room. For some reason, bam, this is something that like popped out to me, right? It's the same thing when it comes to everything. So, this is my formula, right? Am I attractive? So, attraction, question mark. And I want to delete this because that's not something we need to focus on anymore. But there's a whole lot of other different types of attraction. So, this is where it's, again, the word is interesting and in a way confusing to me, is that there's a lot of people out there that are wanting to impress somebody else. And so they got to be different, right? You can't be yourself because if you're yourself, then they're not going to be attracted to that. Well, then why do you want to be with that person in the first place? Right? Shouldn't they want to be with you? Shouldn't they want to be with you? Not somebody that's in your body and you're acting like somebody else. No. They don't want the actor you're portraying or the persona or the role. They want you, hopefully. And if they don't want you, guess what? Get out of there. Don't focus your time and attention on somebody who's not going to love you for you or be there for you. So, looking at these details, and let's see if this will be nice to me and it's going to let me be nice or available. Nope, wrong one. Oops. There we go. Okay, this is not working the way I thought it was going to work out for me. Is that working? Oh, blast. Come on. Be nice to me. There we go. I'm still trying to work out with my instruments and trying to figure things out right here, right? So, mentally, right? I got to tell you, how many people are like flocking to Stephen Hawking? I don't know if you've seen his documentary or how many like millions of books and the New York Times bestseller hit and stuff with Stephen Hawking. Is he emotionally attractive? I don't know. Can he show emotion? Except for a smile, right? Is he physically attractive? I'm going to say a no on that personally. That's just me. I'm not physically attracted to Stephen Hawking. Sorry, bro. But the same thing on everything else. Spiritual, he doesn't believe in God. He's an agnostic. So I don't know if it's really there. But still, he has that spirit about him. You know, maybe that's it. Oh my goodness, it's more of like a Zen approach or a feel or something like that. Whoa, yeah, that's totally something I'm attracted to. Conversational, he can have those conversations. I doubt it's in this realm. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, it's, am I attractive? The answer is yes. But the question is how are you attractive? You know, who is it that you're attracted or attracting? Do I want to attract certain people, right? Here, I should probably point to this stuff, right? So this right here, this, do I want to attract certain people? This is where the big problems come into play. This is where we come into those scenarios where people are not familiar with the fact that it might be that somebody's attracted to your money. It might be that they're attracted to your popularity or your fame, right? You know, they say that you can tell your true friends by if you lose all of your money and everything you have, right? All your positions and everything. And honestly, it could be your personality. I could be friends with somebody and they can be instantly a complete jerk and not change. And it's like, I don't want to be around you anymore. You know, it's one of those mental shifts to help you to kind of recognize and realize for yourself, you know what? Yeah, this isn't doing it for me. You know, as much as I would love to continue our relationship and our friendship, yeah, it's not working. So, this is where it comes down to and boils into its simplicity of trying to recognize for yourself. Am I attractive and who do I want to attract? Because again, you got to figure out who is it that I want to attract? I got to tell you, marketers, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, any social media platform, you'll see marketing that's targeted to you. That means you are attractive to those marketers. You are their target audience. They want you. So guess what? You've got value, even in that sense, right? People want surveys, they want feedback, they want information or details. You got two ears and a brain, they want that. They want your attention, they want your whatever, right? And that's where it comes down to you got to figure out, who do I want to attract? Who do I want to attract? And for me, when it comes to dating profiles, online dating details, whatever you want to call it, this is why personally, because I'm still single, you know, if I was ever on these formats, if they're showing any kind of skin, cleavage, side shots of the rear end, no thanks. Pass, delete. I don't know if you swipe left, right, up, down, whatever it is. It's that kind of stuff where you go through the process and you're like, nope, I'm done, pass, no thanks. Because if that's what they're advertising to me, I don't want that relationship at all. So, pass. Now, this is where a lot of people have this issue of thinking, well, Anthony, you're so judgmental. How dare you be that way? And Robin, aloha back to you. But again, I don't want to be showing or helping other people or in this notion, them thinking or feeling like you're judging them. You're not. You're deciding for yourself, who do I want to interact with? Who do I want to be in my life to influence me? Because I got to tell you, this is the honest truth right here. If I grow up watching blood and guts and horror slasher films and stuff, there's going to be something seriously wrong. And guess what? I'm going to have a tendency to want to flock toward that kind of stuff. I grew up in the 80s. It seemed like every 80 movie out there was like Get the Girl, like the Cinderella kind of thing, 16 Candles, I don't even know what other things, but it's always like, oh my goodness, I'm hopelessly in love with this whatever person, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I'm hoping that, they'll give me their time and attention or whatever, but it's like, what? Like, there's so many things messed up that I grew up with, and even people within, I'd probably say 5 years younger and, 10 years older. It's this concept that we grew up with. Music is our influence, right? That causes us to think certain ways. Mick Jagger himself said straight up, purpose of my music is to get young people to have sex. So guess what? If you're listening to his music, it's likely that you're going to be a little bit more pushed that way or drawn or attracted to that mindset, right? So who do you want in your life? What do you want in your life? Do you want somebody who is, again, going back to this concept, do you want somebody who is more on the side of, let's say, darn it, this thing just does not like me. I keep trying to do this effectively, and it really doesn't like me. There it is. It's 5. That's my issue. All right. But again, who am I trying to attract? This whole concept and notion. Not just that, but here, let me scoot this over because my head and my picture is way too big. I got to fiddle around with this bottom left corner to kind of figure out and say, how do I make this smaller? Because I have no idea how to do my picture in picture and make it smaller. But I will. In due time, I will create it so it's effective. But again, it's what do I care for or about? This is interesting right here. What do I care for or about? Am I attractive? Clearly, yes, you are. Do I want attraction? Meaning, who do I want to attract? Who is attracted to me? Now, I talk about V-Stag personally. It's vulnerable, sincere, authentic, genuine, ultimately, vulnerable, sincere, transparent. That's the one thing I don't have on here. Transparent and genuine, authentic and genuine. But again, it's who are we attracting? And what are they attracted to? Maybe they like our conversation. Well, I got to tell you, some people, as much as I love them, I don't want to talk to them. I have people like, I don't know, who would I say? I got a buddy of mine who's a freak about sports. a freak about sports, and I love him to pieces. But we don't have the greatest of conversations because I don't watch sports at all. Not at all. So we try to figure out, okay, what's attractive to each other that we can connect on and say, yeah, let's have this conversation on intellect, on spirituality, emotional, whatever, right? What is it that we're attracted to? Here's something I've learned. This realm and this realm fades fast. Really fast. I posted on my page a decrepit version of me. I think it was Face App or something. I didn't learn this until after my brother told me to download it and said it was so cool. Then the next day he sent me a picture and said, oh, by the way, they're pretty much taking all of your information off your phone if you have their app. And it's like, what the? Okay, well, let me delete that real fast. But thankfully I had a little, spritz fun with it for about, 30 minutes to an hour. And I took these old or pictures where they alter your face and make you super geriatric and old. And I posted that on my site, on a single site. And I said, hey, I don't care about these cleavage shots, or whatnot, but, I want to show you what I'm going to look like in about 40 or 50 years. I got a few people laughing and stuff. And it was like, but still, nonetheless, hey, you know what? Why not be vulnerable and sincere, right? Transparent. It's like, hey, if this is telling me what I look like, let's see what I potentially look like. Physical goes away. These go away, Sometimes, unfortunately, these go away or change. This goes away sometimes. So it's like we got to work on ourselves, right? It's us being us. So I didn't want this to be a too terribly long Friday night with Anthony White, but I got to tell you, am I attractive? Flat out, simple and straight up. Yes, you are attractive. Yes, you are attractive. But if you're not getting the people's time and attention that you're wanting, it shouldn't matter. Honestly, that's the truth. It shouldn't matter to you. That is something that people have issues with. They say, oh my goodness, I'm attracted to her or him. I want him or her. And ultimately they say, well, then I'll change who I am. I will tell you that is the perfect way to be miserable for the rest of your life. Because one day you're going to be tired of being fake. You're going to be tired of being somebody else. You're going to be tired of it. And then the moment you change back to being you, the other person who was attracted to the fake you is going to be like, who are you? You're not the person I fell in love with, the person that I married. You're not the person that fill in the blank, because you don't want to play that role anymore. So, encouragement, always, always be yourself. Are you attractive? Absolutely. I'm Anthony White. Thank you for joining me, the Orange Tie Guy, for Friday Night with Anthony White. And hopefully this has got a little bit of perspective, and I'll work on my technical skills for the future.